Honorables. My name is Gibson Mwemba, the Council Secretary for Nyimba, and this time allow me to call upon my team to introduce themselves as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Honorables. My name is Kefas Mukoko, Council Treasurer Nyimba.
Next.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Honorable Members. My name is Shoka Wallace, Environmental Planner, Nyimba Town Council. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Honorables. Good morning, Chair. My name is Major Mwale. I'm the Internal Auditor, Nyimba Town Council.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Honorables. My name is Achezo Tabeth Mambwe. I'm the Director of Works.
Thank you. Thank you so much. My name is Mulunda Darius, Member of Parliament for Siavonga constituency and the chairperson for this committee. You are welcome. Before we get into business witness, I'd like to compare you with Cap 12. That is, whatever you say before this committee will not be used against you. You are granted immunity under Cap 12, the immunity that members enjoy in the House, that what you say cannot be used against you unless you choose to deliberately mislead or misinform this committee, then the same Cap 12 will be used against you. But I have no doubt in my mind that you give us the right information, the information that we use to generate a report, the report which you will submit before the House and the nation. So we invite you to make your submissions, but maybe before you just get into that, I would like to know, maybe each one of you, how long you have been at that station, starting with you, CS.
Thank you, Chair. I've been in Nyimba for 8 months now.
8 months. Thank you. Next.
Thank you, Chair. I've been in Nyimba for 5 years. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I've been in Nyimba for 4 years now.
Okay.
Chair, I've been in Nyimba for 3 years.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I've been in Nyimba for 3 years.
3 years. Thank you so much. I'll now invite you, Council Secretary, to make your submission before this committee.
Chair, thank you so much. A memorandum of submission to the Committee of Local Government accounts for the report of the Auditor General on the audit of accounts of Nyimba Town Council for the financial year ended 31st December 2021. We appear on paragraph 56 of the Auditor General's report.
Thank you, Council Secretary. The way we're going to proceed is you read the query, like a budget and income, and then you come to management response. So you skip this, something that we have taken note, so you come to the response and the response and then your action.
Thank you so much. The first query, Chair, is on budget and income. During the period under review, the Council had budgeted to receive grants from the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development and to collect locally generated income from various sources in amounts totaling to 21,745,435, out of which amounts totaling to 19,336,469 were received and generated, resulting in a negative variance of 2,408,966 as tabulated in the table below. The reason for the query, Chair, the Council did not collect the budgeted amount due to some property owners in tourism industries such as game ranches and other business entities who were adversely affected by post-COVID-19 era. The action taken, Chair, the Council engaged the bailiffs, the court bailiffs to enhance collection of the local tax on defaulting clients. And there's a table that is tabulating or specifying each revenue code and the challenges and the remarks therein. The remedial measure, Chair, the Council will continue to sensitize the public on the need to pay local taxes. Then the sub-query under budget and income is also accounting for revenue failure to collect premiums. Section 9, subsection H of the Public Finance Management Regulations 2020 requires the head of the accounting unit of the local authority to collect in a timely manner all revenue due to the local authority.
Sorry, Council Secretary, what you do, like you have read the accounting for revenue, failure to collect plots premium, so then you don't read that, you just go to your management response.
All right.
That's the reason for query.
Oh, thank you so much, Chair. So under failure to collect plot premium, the reason the plot premium remained unpaid by applicants at the close of the financial year ended 31st December 2021. The action taken, the Council sent demand notes to the applicants as a reminder for them to promptly pay. The Council has since managed to collect the remaining 35,600, Chair. As tabulated below, and the remedial measure is that the Council carried out public sensitization programs through radio and public notices. The other query, Chair, is failure to obtain title deeds. The reason for the query, the Council did not obtain title deeds from Ministry of Lands due to lack of survey diagrams. Action taken, Chair, the Council paid 21,425 18 ngwe to the Ministry of Lands on 12 December for 12 offer letters as tabulated below. Then the remedial measure is the Council will ensure that all properties of the local authority have title deeds. The following query, Chair, is management of payroll and other staff-related matters. The first one of which is overemployment of staff. The management response, Chair, the Service Commission Act number 10 of 2016, as enshrined in the Zambian Constitution and the statutory instrument number 105 of 2020, mandates the Local Government Service Commission to handle Division 1 to 3 categories of employees of the local authority in terms of recruitments, transfers, separations, disciplinary matters, and other functions. The affected officers were employed by the Local Government Service Commission, who are responsible for recruitment of this category of employees. The reason for the reason for the query is that the Council had overstaffed establishment, and the action taken, the Council has since written to Local Government Service Commission to transfer excess staff to the need councils. Remedial measures, the Council will ensure that the correct staff establishment is maintained. The next query, Chair, is employees without requisite qualifications. The reason for the query, the Council had the officers without prerequisite qualifications. The response is the same as the previous one. This category of employees is employed by the Local Government Service Commission, and the Council has, of course, encouraged officers to go to school, as shown in the appendix number 5. Remedial measures, the local authority will ensure that officers have prerequisite qualifications. The next query, Chair, is employment of staff without authority. The reason, the Council recruited the officers without authority as an intervention in the interim to curb the spread of COVID-19. The council management presented the matter to the ordinary council meeting for approval under that minute number, and thereafter wrote to the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development for authority on 25th August 2020 to employ these workers. The letter of request is attached. Remedial measures, the local authority will always ensure authorities obtained from the ministry when employing general workers. The next query, Chair, is management of constituency development funds. Under this, query number 1 is failure to implement approved projects as tabulated below. The reason for the query, Chair, the Council failed to implement the approved 2021 projects in time due to the following. The first thing that there were no Ward Development Committee, there were no CDF committee members which delayed to be formed. Then the second one is the late disbursement of funds, which was done on 1st October 2021. Late approval of 2021 CDF projects by the Minister of Local Government, which was done on 10th March 2022. Lengthy procurement processes of goods and services, and delayed clearance of contracts by the Secretary to Treasury and Attorney General, of which the last letter was received, the last letter of approval was received on 21st October 2022. So, Chair, we have, on the action taken, we have done a table to show the status of each project as at now. The implementation status of the 2021 approved projects is tabulated below, as shown in the table there and the pictures. Of course, the remedial measure, the local authority recommends that the approval of projects, procurement processes, and clearance of project contracts be decentralized further so that there is speedy approval and implementation of these projects. The last query, Chair, is management of liabilities, that is failure to remit statutory and other obligations. The Council failed to remit statutory and other obligations due to low revenue base. The Council actually struggles to raise 269,000 to meet just the net salaries for employees every month. Action taken, Chair, the Council has engaged the statutory creditors and other obligations on debt swaps, payment plans, and the application of tax amnesty. Actually, the Council benefited 769 40 kwacha matching grant from the Ministry of Finance and National Planning towards payment of ZRI. The Council has since made some payments towards liquidating the arrears as tabulated in the table below. The Council has also started, as a remedial measure, Chair, to expand its revenue base through proposal of initiatives like the tracking bay, and also through the proposal of the carbon trading levy, which we hope that if this is done, if this is approved by Attorney General, it will help the Council a lot in ensuring that the revenue base is stabilized. Chair, I thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your submission, Nyimba. Honorable members, Honorable Gambon.
Yes. Mr. CS, good morning again. Good morning, Honorable. Yes, so I think you were taken to Nyimba Council to make improvements, isn't it? Sure. So there are, you can see this document you have handed. It's like a thesis for a degree or for some studies. So there are numerous problems at Nyimba Town Council. So therefore, what is it that you have done to change this narrative of problems after problems, auditors querying almost everything? So you have come a new person, yes, that I agree. So I would love to, the committee would love to know what changes you have done that will bring in efficiency and other issues, especially like on revenue collection, because this is the most important. The council is there to collect revenue, make profit, and offer service to the community. So this is also not well done. So what have you done on revenue? And also on the CDF, there are numerous problems, timely completion and so forth. So I would love to, just this committee would love to know what changes you have brought that can give hope that Nyimba Council now has got the capacity even to handle the new CDF. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Smumba.
Thank you very much, Chair. I will take you to page 8, Chair.
Page 8.
Of employment of staff.
Yes, page 8.
I would want to find out, Chair, who should we blame? Is it the Nyimba Council or the commission, the local government commission? Because why should we have overemployment of staff? Because this is done by the request by your council to the commission to state the positions of those staff which are vacant. So I would want to find out what made this overemployment of staff. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much, CS. 2 questions.
Thank you so much, Chair. And thank you, Honorables, for those very good questions. What have I done since I stepped in Nyimba? The first thing that I did, Chair, was to make sure that I proposed that in every ward there should be revenue agents, so that a ward treats itself as a country on its own, whereby they shouldn't allow any person getting out resources from their particular ward. Okay, so that one was the first step that I did. And the second step that I did was to ensure that all revenues collected by the revenue agents, they should be banked directly to the bank, not they bring to the cashier, because when you involve a lot of hands, you find that there is leakage of funds. So that is the second step that I did, which has seen us going in a very good trajectory. The third thing that we are doing is now to find innovations. How do we get revenue that is not available, like the proposal of the carbon trading levy? Because we know that if we break through on that one, the story of these dates of unpaid statutory obligations will be a thing of the past. So that's why we're just praying that the Attorney General should pass that one, so that we can start collecting the carbon trading. So, there are many other things like tracking bay that I've mentioned in the report, but we are continually. I've called my officers on a round table discussion, say no, because they have stayed longer in Nyimba. They know Nyimba more than I do. So I asked them to give me ideas together with the general workers. You know, just chatting on a round table discussion. Please suggest what do we do for the betterment of Nyimba. So that's what we have done on revenue, Honorable. Thank you.
Thank you.
Then on the issue of CDF, yeah, it's true. On the issue of CDF as well, because I was transferred from Pemba to Nyimba. On Pemba, we were ahead. We were miles ahead already on the processes. But when I reached Nyimba, I found that the approval from the ministry was not even yet done. So that was the first task that I took. I came together with the CDF chairman to show seriousness. We sat in the ministry to push that no. We are not going back until we have these projects approved. And lucky enough, of course, that day we went back, but 2 weeks after, a letter followed us to say we have approved these things. So it's so that now, from the approval processes, that's when we begin now pushing to sector to treasury. Of course, we had a lot of hurdles there. Attorney General, we had a lot of hurdles, but we have pushed. But as I'm talking now, at least there is light at the end of the tunnel, because what is there is that the decentralization that they have done up to the province level now, it will be very easier for us to ensure that we push these projects. As we have stated, Chair, immediately we secured the approval in October 2022. Within 4 months, you have seen some of the projects are completed already. Some of them are at an advanced stage. So if we had secured this approval earlier, meaning that you would have completed within the year. Thank you, Chair. Then for the overemployment of staff, is it not your request? Sorry, Chair, to say it was not requested by Nyimba. And during the previous commission, when they send the officers to you, we were even afraid to write back to say, please, we have overstaffed, because it was a bit tricky. So what we have done, we have of course engaged the current commission, which seemed to be a very understanding commission, and they have promised us that they will work on it. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Honorable members. Yes, Honorable Kora.
Thank you, Chair. CS, how is the working relationship between your council and the Member of Parliament?
Is another question? Yes, Honorable Mutera.
Chair, thank you so much. I've seen some improvement. But page 3, the reasons for not collecting the budgeted amount was due to COVID, to your clients. You have stated it in no uncertain terms. Then you take these good clients of yours and institute benefits. You've said it's because of who? COVID. Then benefits. Huh? Why are you punishing your would-be good clients for a natural cause? Chair, I like this mathematics. On page 12. On page 12, the CDF. The CDF was 2021, he has explained that total and the carryover and the balance. But when I'm adding up, the total which I'm finding again, it's different. So Treasury and your team, help me. That if 2,510,210. To me, it's not correct. I'm looking for a 62,210. So I want us to have correct figures, Chair. So on those two issues, help me, help your committee.
Council Secretary.
Chair, thank you so much. First of all, the working relationship with my Honorable MP, Menyan Zulu, to my side, it's a very, very, very good working relationship because every time we have any new projects to implement that we receive from other sectors, who call each other, DC, MP, and council chair. We sit on a table of coffee and decide as a team where to take those projects, and we are always updating each other on a number of issues. So far, to my side, I don't have any problem with him. Then on the issue of COVID, why taking the innocent clients to court or send bailiffs on them? Chair, it's true. It's true that COVID affected especially the tourism sector. Again, it's very true, Chair, that if this money is not collected, already we are here. Nyimba is appearing for the first time before this committee. And when you look at our collection efficiency, Chair, it's 90%. I was joking with the internal auditor to say, why are you querying me on a pass rate that is okay? Because you would have set a standard like the way it is in the financial statement, on the financial statements. Should be page 10, 11 there, to say 80%. 80%. Once if you reach 80%, you are not supposed to be, taken to task so much. So if I don't send bailiffs to these poor affected COVID clients, it means I will come to park. So that's my answer on that one. Then for the CDF figures, maybe the treasurer, you can help me on that.
You, Chair. Treasurer, maybe I'm wrong. Do your computation, yes. And then if I'm wrong, please tell me. If not, explain.
Chair. Thank you, Chair. I think, Chair, we are here so that we can help each other to make sure that some of these happenings should come to an end. For instance, on page 10, where there is employees without qualifications. Now, I would want maybe to be advised and who requested, again, when you are employing, there should be the minimum qualifications of that particular position that is vacant. Now, I would want to find out from the CS who advertised for these positions, and it happened that we employed the staff without them having the qualifications. I would want to find out from that. Thank you.
Council Secretary, Treasurer, are you ready?
Thank you very much, Chair. May I just respond to the observation that has just been brought before us, Chair? Chair, you are correct. Honorable, the correct amount should have been 2,572, 2 million. It's supposed to be 2,572,020 kwacha. That could be this is the balance that was supposed to be recorded, and there was an under statement of 61,810 kwacha. Sure, Chair. So you are correct on that aspect, Chair. So
Through you, Chair.
we'll correct this. But Chair, we followed this because this was the query, the way the auditors had stated it. So which we couldn't change.
Yes, but you could, when you are given, you don't go through so that you also see what we've said. And
Correct,
then
no.
you go together with the auditor.
We are not a chair who will rectify it.
Is it when they just give to you, do they whip you? They ask for clarification. And the treasurer, you couldn't see this?
Chair, we saw it to rectify it.
You
noted.
you saw it or you are seeing it now?
We saw it, Chair.
Council Secretary, the other one.
Chair, thank you so much. On the employees without requisite qualifications, Chair, as I answered earlier on to say this category of employees was done by the Local Government Service Commission, and the Nimba Town Council just received these employees. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Honorable.
Thank you, Chair. Just on the same. If I give you wrong things, you just accept because I'm your boss. What were you failing to do, even to help, the then Local Government Service Commission? You were just, it's okay.
Okay, before you come in, Honorable Simumba, you wanted to add something there?
Yes, Chair, through you, maybe the staff from the local government maybe can help us because sure.
I don't want to defend the CS, but maybe if he was there, he was going to write. But what's the standard if you are given that? Honorable Kazam.
Chair, I'm yet to be honorable. Though I receive in advance.
Yes.
Just as clarified, I think what is maybe correct, though that has to be found out, either the staff in question, it could be at the time of their employment, that could have been the minimum entry requirements. But if that is not the case, the situation is that the recruitment process is normally assessed by the Commission for appropriate deployment. So that's where I'll leave it. CS needs to find out if those employees were in employment, and at the time of employment, those were the minimum qualifications. So it is correct.
Thank you. I think you are being economical with the truth, Mr. Kazinga. Because the auditors found these people to be underqualified. That's what they picked. Say, no, these people didn't have the requisite. So what we are saying is, after he has received, what was the correct thing to do? Was it to write back to the Commission to say, no, these people are not qualified, or to do what? Because definitely those people sent people that had no qualifications. The Commission at that time, they sent people that had no qualifications. And if you heard the CS in the first, in his submission, oral submission, he said at times we could not write back because of whatever relationship the councils had.
He has not categorically stated as to why they would not write back to state the reasons. I know he's yet to come. But the local government, You are being economical. Because it is stated here to say these people not qualified, but for now we've sent them to where? To school.
Would I go ahead, Chair?
Please go ahead, Mr. Kazim.
Thank you, Chair. Just as I've stated, those are specific submissions by the Auditor General, which, as I've said, CS maybe is new. There should have been a due diligence on a specific case. Because I take it, if a recruitment was done and deployment by the Commission, definitely due diligence was done. You should have explained to detail by pulling the individual staff files and check when they were employed. In the absence of that, Chair, I take note of what CS has said, that they couldn't write, but which shouldn't be the case, because as a public officer, you are required to put it on record as to why you are receiving or you are not receiving. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much. Yes, Honorable Simumba, then Honorable Nyambose.
Thank you very much. I think when you look at the employees with minimum qualifications, it has stated here to say, for instance, there is 1, 2, 3. The number 1, the minimum, the highest academic qualification he has is certificate in child counseling, which took him 6 weeks. And now, the required minimum qualification for that particular job is certificate in records management or equivalent. So the minimum has already been mentioned, and somebody has got a certificate in child counseling, which took him 6 weeks, and he has got a job. So it has already stated. So now, as CS, what did you do when you saw this is happening? Did you write back to the Commission to complain to say this person is underqualified? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Honorable Nyambose.
A serious notice is coming. If it was now during nominations,
out of order,
Chair, if it was during nominations and I do not have the minimum, I would not qualify to be a member of parliament. There and then I'll be told at the door, go. You do not meet the minimum requirement to be a member of parliament at nomination.
Thank you, Honorable Mutero.
Yeah, he said the situation was tricky. Could he elaborate further what was tricky? Because when he was asked here, he said he did not write, or whatever he was sent, because the situation was tricky. Maybe he could elaborate more also on what was tricky. Thank you.
You see, let me just say something, honorable members. When we look at even the example the honorable members put up, the one that has worked out on ECZ. ECZ, yes, they could do that. But this is what we are dealing with, Local Government Service Commission. That could do, at that time, accept unqualified people and they are sent. But ECZ would not allow an inch of that. But what we are saying is, this question, I wish, I wish we could keep this question for the commission when it appears that Nyimba submitted that you sent unqualified. We do not want to put the CS into coming up with assumptions to say, no, maybe they are being bullied or something or what. But what it is, we have the people that sent those that are appearing before you. So why don't we reserve that question and ask those people to say, from Nyimba, the record is here, because you have the report. The report is here that you sent. And those, they even know the person that was there, where he is now. And vice versa, he didn't write back to them as well. Whatever reason he had, we cannot speculate. I just want us to think through that. Honorable Chitoro Chirupsha, and then Nicola. And oh, Nyambosa had given. Okay, we'll start with him. I know because I've mentioned Chitoro, then Nyambosa is. So you should discipline him. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Chair. And I want to apologize for coming late. I've just arrived this morning from my constituency. There are some disasters there. Witness, my name is Honorable Mishek Nyambose, Member of Parliament for Chasef. Welcome. Chair, I want to also add my word, especially on this subject of unqualified employees. I want to find out from the Council Secretary, one, Chairperson, you confirm that you received 2 sub-inspectors. And does the establishment for Nyimba show that you are supposed to have 2 sub-inspectors? And these were transferred to Nyimba and not employed locally. The other one, Chair, is what my colleagues have indicated. Upon realizing that you have so many unqualified personnel occupying positions that they do not qualify for, what have you done? Not during the time of audit, but what are you doing now to address this situation? Do you recommend regrading? Because I believe, Chair, this affects service delivery. When you don't have qualified people, the council cannot perform. What are your recommendations? The last one, the audit samples. Do you confirm that in many of these positions, in your council, Nyimba, you have people occupying positions without qualifications? And what are you going to do in order to improve service delivery to Nyimba? Lastly, Chair, the issue of having so many people on one position, I heard before my coming in, you have people on one position, more than 2, 3. What are you doing to address that matter currently in order to have an establishment that is a standard, permitted, and allowed in the public service? Thank you very much, Chair. And I want to thank you, Chair, for accommodating me.
Thank you. Honorable Chirupsha.
Well, thank you very much, Chair. I just want to caution, express concern and caution the Nyimba team. And I'll begin by quoting a proverbial phrase from Bemba. When they say, Piana ngo, apiana namagala, it simply means that when you take over a new position, you inherit everything, including the past, the wrong, the right. So when you come to appear before this committee on an audit that was done by the Auditor General, we do not expect you to distinguish between the UPND government, the PF government, the previous commission, the new commission. Because even here where we are, we don't even distinguish ourselves as UPND or PF MPs. We're a harmonious committee of the Speaker. And we would urge you not to divide us, because we don't want to drag, we don't want you to drag us into politics. If you are going to refer to the commission in the past, then let that commission come here to defend itself, because probably you may be misrepresenting them. So you take responsibility, and you are defending Nyimba Council. Nyimba Council under the current government, that is for the people of this country. And so there should be continuity. Management is continuity. I just would like to see seamless a transition. So defend as Nyimba Council and correct as Nyimba Council. Submit, Chair.
Thank you. Honorable Kola.
Yes, Chair. I think part of it, the doc has covered it. But the issue is we need to get what you're doing now. Because it would have been better to hear that you've written that we've got these excess employees. Whatever challenges with those employees, you know, if we heard that you've done that, it would be totally different, because we do not want to dwell in the past. Yes, of course, it's important to refer to the past, but what are the solutions now? I think it's very critical. And now, the other thing, Chair, I wanted to ask about is also on the issue of managing the project. Maybe I will not ask a question. Let me just comment and be quiet for the rest of the program. I think it's important, team here, to understand that the delay in implementing projects, it's a cost. And not just a cost to the government, but to the people that you've gone to serve in those areas. Because a life will be lost when it was not supposed to be lost. A child do not have education when the child was supposed to have education. Looking at the project for 2021, not done up to date, it's not a good thing. I think let us improve. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Secretary.
Chair, thank you so much. Let me begin with Honorable Nyambose, unqualified employees. Yes, Honorable, through the Chair, what is there is that these were transferred, were received by NYIMBA. What are we doing now? I'm sure as provided in the appendix, we wrote to the officers to upgrade. We wanted to give them an opportunity to upgrade themselves. In fact, as I'm speaking now, because of resources, we are sending them in bits. One of them has already completed out of the 3. So the other one will be going soon as well. So we had to write to the employees, since they are already there, to encourage them to upgrade their papers, their qualifications. Lucky enough, Honorable, I can confirm that the employees are hardworking. The reports that we get from the supervisors is that at least even when they have these lower qualifications, but their input is all right. Then on the overstaffing as well, on the other employees, we have also written to the Local Government Service Commission, requesting them to transfer these overstaffed officers to need councils. Like we have, as we have stated, we have 2 clerical officers, 2 administrative officers. So at least if they remove one to take him where they are needed, better for us.
Not to intervene. Do you have evidence to that effect that you have written?
That is on the appendix. Page 4, appendix 4. On appendix 4. Okay. For the question from the dog, we really appreciate, and let me take this opportunity maybe to withdraw that one, so that I don't, since we don't have empirical evidence.
Your mic.
Sorry. All right. I was just saying we really appreciate the advice from the doc. Thank you so much. And on the delayment in implementation of projects, yeah, I share your views, Honorable Kolala. Those are my same views. We really need to up our game so that these projects are implemented in the shortest time possible. I thank you.
It's Honorable Simumba, in winding up.
Thank you very much, Chair. On overstaffing, Chair,
yes,
he stated the CS to say it's because of the local government service commission. Now I would want to find out, they employed some staff without authority. Why did they do this? On page 11.
Page 11.
Why did they employ without the authority from the local government service commission? I thank you, Chair.
Council Secretary. Yes.
Chair, thank you so much, Chair. Sorry, CS, to take you back to the unqualified personnel. You have indicated to this committee that the said officers are performing very well. What evidence do you show? Do you have appraisal forms that confirm the performance? The other one is, don't you feel that regrading them to the positions that they qualify could have been a better idea than for them to go for training, which will continue appearing as long as annually you are being audited? Do you consider that option? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. So can you respond to those two?
Let me begin with Honorable Nyambose's question. Yes, Honorable, through the chair, we of course, the evidence, at the moment, I didn't come with it, but it was mentioned during, because we were almost suggesting what you have done now. To say, no, the best thing is that these officers is either we send them back to the Local Government Service Commission, who sent them, or we regrade them. Okay? So from the supervisors, there was that mention to say, I think the best that we can do, since they are hardworking, maybe is to encourage them to upgrade their qualifications. So that's how we didn't get the other options. But otherwise, okay, when we appraise them again, when we see that maybe it was just a goodwill of the manager, yeah, we may take that route. Thank you so much for that observation. On the employment of staff without authority, Chair, on this one, the council had written to the Ministry of Law Government, of course, through management, when they realized to say there was need on solid waste, because during the time of COVID, there was so much need of cleaning the places around. So there was a suggestion from our health inspectors that we need to recruit about 7 officers to help us clean. So those people worked for such a long time. Okay. Then what was done was that we reported to council so that they give us authority, maybe to engage these people on permanent basis, since we have utilized them for a longer period. Again, we'll be conflicting with the other law of casualization. So that's how the council approved. Then we wrote to the ministry. Now, the only thing that happened was that The ministry advised us to employ in phases because of our financial status. Because we had directed I mean, we had requested for 14 officers. But then they said, you don't have enough cash to be able to meet the payroll obligation. So the best thing is that you employ in phases. So that's how it was thought that, okay, in the meantime, maybe let's push this category of maybe 7. Now, of which that letter of authority granting us, it hasn't come to date. So that's how we found ourselves in a query. But the initial one, for the initial request was replied to say, no, for now, we are not authorizing you because the number is too big. Can you go into phases?
That is interesting. Just to follow up the same. Can you refer this committee to which evidence, appendix what, of the minutes of the council authorizing you and the initial authority from the ministry? And finally, don't you think that you abrogated the rules or the law by assuming before the ministry, before government could authorize you, you went ahead and gone against the regulation, which is a serious offense? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Council Secretary.
Thank you so much. I was even telling my officer, say, I'm praying that this query doesn't come. Because for sure we abrogated the local government, I mean the conditions, because we were supposed to wait for the ministry. Even when they gave us that initial authority to say you can go into phases, we were supposed to wait for another letter, which is authorizing us for this particular one. That one we are 100% wrong, Honorable. We are just at your feet. But for the appendix that you have requested for is the appendix 6, where there is this letter which was requesting for authority to recruit for the council motel, and because we wanted general workers to beef up the council motel as well as the solid waste arrangement. Then the reply is there, written by Dr. Bishop Eddie Chomba, which advised us to go into phases. Then we wrote another one on the 25th August. This is the one which is not replied. Then the minutes are also attached.
All right. Just a last one. You are basically pleading for lenience from this committee for having gone against the regulation. You are aware that breaking the rules or going against government regulation, there are consequences to that effect. With impunity, you went against the rules. Don't you think that if this is permitted, there will be disorder? And if this is encouraged, don't you think that even other councils, they'll be doing whatever they can do as long as we go ahead, even if there's no permission? You are ready for the consequences to this effect. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. I don't know, CS, you have a response to that? Thank you very much for your submission. I think we are ending here with the words of caution on all those concerns from the members. You take them seriously as Nyimba Town Council, that a lot of those lapses, both from you and the Commission, should not be encouraged, and you should stand always to do the right thing as with the local authority. Because if you do something wrong, we will not ask anybody else, we will ask you as the local authority. We are encouraging you to uphold the rules and regulations that governs your institution. With that said, I would like to now withdraw the immunity that was conferred on you at the beginning of this meeting and allow you to travel back to Nyimba even as you came. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chair.
Yes, we are to liberty to take leave.
Zambia. Even saying the word is a multi-sensory experience. It somehow captures something of the essence of this special place in the warm heart of southern Africa. Take in the mighty Zambezi River, the majestic Victoria Falls that form Zambia's natural southern border, and the national parks overflowing with wildlife. Immerse yourself in the fast-growing towns and cities, teeming with history, light, and life. Then visit the vast lakes that seem to touch the stars and engage with a plethora of different ethnic groups, cultures, and languages. Together, they make up the intricately woven fabric of this remarkable country. To visit Zambia is to begin a love affair that will never be exhausted, and unlike any that you have ever experienced before. For all the superlatives that man has used in his attempts to describe Victoria Falls, none are able to do this incredible natural wonder justice. You have to see it for yourself. It is a truly awe-inspiring experience. Livingstone, once Zambia's capital, and the Zambian side of the falls have become a mecca for discerning adventure tourists. Peer into the abyss from Devil's Pool at the edge of the falls. Career down the powerful rapids from Batoka Gorge in a whitewater raft. Bungee jump from the historic Victoria Falls Bridge. Or fly over the falls on a flight of angels. Whatever activity you choose, you'll be left with a renewed appreciation for the sheer might of nature. Kafue National Park is amongst the biggest in Africa and is home to more than 130 species of mammal and more than 400 bird species. Enjoy the wildlife from a different perspective on a boat cruise or a canoeing or walking safari. For sheer density of game, South Luangwa National Park is second to none. It certainly lives up to its nickname as the Valley of the Leopard. The stunning Liuwa Plains play host to the world's second largest wildebeest migration and boast some of the most striking vistas you will see anywhere in Africa. At Kasanka National Park, you can view the largest mammal migration in the world when each November, literally millions of fruit bats cover the skyline as the sun sets. Zambia's bodies of water are as abundant as its wildlife. Although it is landlocked, this country has more water than any other in Africa. There are the long, meandering rivers, some of which are interspersed by waterfalls that are only narrowly surpassed by Vic Falls. Then there are the lakes, from the vast, remote Lake Tanganyika, far in the north of the country, which is one of Africa's Great Lakes, to Lake Kariba, Africa's biggest man-made dam. Kariba is an increasingly popular beach holiday destination that is strangely reminiscent of the French Riviera. Or for the best bath of your life, visit the incredible Kapisha Hot Springs. Another unique aspect of this remarkable country are the Zambians themselves. The country is home to 72 different ethnic groups and languages, all of whom have their own diverse cultural traits and traditions. one thing they do have in common: they are all unfailingly warm and welcoming. Zambians are famous for their very own special brand of hospitality, as well as the pride they take in their Zambian identity. Wherever you go in Zambia, you will meet people who will go out of their way to leave you with a positive impression and make you feel at home. So what are you waiting for? Book your trip now and enjoy the kind of African experience you've always dreamt of. Whatever it is you're looking for, you can always be sure to find it somewhere in Zambia.